What do you remember about yesterday?
Not very much. I gave a couple of lessons. Then I went into the tack room. Somebody asked me something. And the next thing I remember was a siren. I remember thinking somebody's being taken to the hospital.
You remember being in the emergency room?
Voices, but I couldn't make out the words. And lights, lots of bright lights. Were you there?
Hmm.
What's wrong with me?
Lights on. Did you need something?
I like someone to sit with me a while.
I'll get the nurse.
Please, Dr. McGrath, will you stay?
Why would you want me?
First, I must apologize for this afternoon. I was very unpleasant.
Yes, you were.
In fact, I think I was a very difficult patient for you to deal with.
At times.
I'm not used to a woman like you, which is not an excuse. I'm also very frightened, which is a slightly better one. All I can think about is dying, and the fear that follows wipes away good manners and gratitude.
Everyone gets frightened, Mrs. Kihara. But you're not going to die. You're not. Well, just think about your grandson. And what it'll feel like to hold him for the very first time.
Waiting for the morning. Cherry blossoms gently open, and my grandson smiles.
You don't have to explain that one to me.
Fine. Dr. McGrath, will you be in the operating room with me?
I plan to, unless you don't,
Please, I like it very much.
Then I'll be there. And I promise you, you'll be all right.
Can I help you guys?
Dr. Kalani. I'm Special Agent Steve Kanahili. This is Special Agent Antonio Serrano. We're from the Federal Bureau of Investigation here in Honolulu, and we believe that you have information about an individual we're interested in. Her name is Donella Nichols.
Sorry, I don't know anybody by that name.
Just a minute, Dr. Kalani. You know, she might have used an alias. At the last known address, she went by the name of Henley. Denise Henley?
Someone tipped her off and she skipped. 3 months ago, we heard she was headed for the islands.
What's all this got to do with me?
These?
We identified you through those pictures, Dr. Kalani. We checked around, and from your reputation, we know that you're an upstanding citizen. We're counting on you to help our country.
I don't understand. Why her?
Well, this is an ongoing investigation. I'm afraid we can't tell you.
I want to know what's going on.
We're conducting this interview. We're here to ask the questions, not you.
Right now, we're just following up a lead, and we're sure that the woman is our suspect. We'll bring her in for questioning.
Am I correct in assuming that I'm under no legal obligation to answer your questions?
Legally, you're right. However, as a concerned citizen...
We have an outstanding federal warrant on this woman. Do you know where she is right now?
I'm sorry, but I feel it's wrong to give out information on a private citizen without any evidence that they've been involved in committing a crime.
And it's a crime under Title 18, Section 1001 to lie to a federal officer.
I'm not lying to you. I'm telling you what I think.
That's your right, Dr. Kalani. When we come back, we'll have a subpoena. That'll take care of any problems you might have. Good day.
Joan.
Daniel. Hi.
Hi. Listen. The FBI were at my house today asking me questions about you. They had pictures of us together at the beach.
What did you tell them?
Well, nothing, but they said they'd be back with a subpoena. Now, what the hell's going on? Hey, don't do that.
Daniel, what were you doing in the summer of 1970?
1970. I was a fourth-year resident and I got married.
I blew up an ROTC building on the college campus.
What?
Nobody was injured. There was nobody in the building. But I've been running ever since.
Joan, are you serious?
They didn't tell you my real name.
Danella Nichols, they said.
I'm surprised you didn't read about it. It was in all the papers.
Oh, residents don't have all that much time for current events. So, that night that you tried to get out of the hospital, you knew they were onto you? You were going to start running again?
Well, I got a call at work, and somebody told me to get out of there fast. Stupid me, I bit the dust instead.
So, all the things you told me were lies.
Well, not everything. I've never been to Tangiers. I've always wanted to go, but I couldn't. No passport. No, all the exotic places that I've ever visited were courtesy of my library card. I'm feeling really tired right now. I don't think I want to talk anymore.
Okay. Put your oxygen back on. They don't know you're here.
Not yet.
Well, I've got a lot to think about. We'll talk in the morning.
I'm not going anywhere.
Good night.
Dr. Kalani?
Hi.
Julie, what time is it?
Oh, the usual time I get here. Try this. You look like you could use a jump start this morning. Have a bite. Guaranteed sugar rush.
No, thanks. How's Miss Alexander?
Better. I just saw her and her nurse on the way to the coffee machine. She was on her way for another test.
I better get cleaned up. Well, I'm expecting a call from somebody named Richard Tobias. Wherever I am, get me if he calls, okay?
Even if you're in the shower?
Julie.
Don't worry. I'll find you.
Miss Skihara, good luck.
I don't need luck, Dr. Kalani. Dr. McGrath is with me, and she doesn't leave anything to chance.
You're right about that.
Hi.
Hi. You're looking better.
Well, I feel better.
I called Richard Tobias last night. You know who he is?
Yeah, he's a big civil rights lawyer on the East Coast.
I talked to his wife. He was out of town. He's going to call me this morning.
It's no good. He can't help.
Come on. What you did happened 20 years ago. Nobody was hurt, right?
It was government property. I'm facing federal charges and state charges. I'm facing a 20-year sentence.
And you can't run anymore. If you don't go into treatment, you'll be committing suicide. I don't want to lose you. Tobias knows what he's doing. We've got nothing to lose by talking to him.
It wasn't just me. There was 3 of us. I'm not the only one who's running. The others are too.
Joan, we're talking about your life. We'll handle the legal stuff step by step. New drugs are being tested and approved every day. Who knows what cure might be just around the corner? Give yourself a chance. Let me help you fight this.
If I talk to them, they're going to ask me about my friends. The only way I can get a light sentence is by plea bargaining, cutting a deal, turning people in. I can't do that. When I think about not seeing you again, I don't know. I get very confused.
Excuse me, Dr. Kalani? Richard Tobias is on the line?
Let's at least hear what he has to say.
Golden retriever. They're good with kids. Beautiful animals. Kind, affectionate, great dogs.
Sounds good, but my wife says they're too big for an apartment.
She's got a good point.
Now she's thinking about dachshunds.
They're asking for trouble. They're subject to back problems. Here's the stone. How's she doing, Dr. Marino?
You know, I really like English bulldogs. But my wife's...
What's wrong?
What's happened to her rhythm?
I've got no pressure. Get the paddle. She's in full arrest.
Stand back.
I've given her epi and lidocaine. I'll try Bertilium.
Let's chop her again. Let's crack her chest. There's no point in going on.
Joan, I talked to Tobias.
Dear Daniel, I guess I've come to value freedom above everything. Please try to understand. I'm not choosing death. I'm choosing life. Or rather, life is choosing me. I'm giving you back your beautiful gift, Daniel. Remember, the giver is always in the heart of the receiver. For always and forever, my love. Aloha.
Dr. Kulani, Mrs. Kihara just threw a clot to her lung. She died on the table. Where's Dr. McGrath?
I promised her nothing was going to happen.
You made a promise you couldn't keep. We all do it. We promise what's not in our power to deliver.
She's dead. Why try and rationalize it away?
Caitlin, you're not a god. You had no control over what happened. You did everything you could.
So what? So what? I did everything I could. She is still dead.
I think you're very angry and more than a little sorry for yourself. Caitlin, the beautiful thing is you won her trust. Because she trusted you, she went into a frightening situation at peace. It was an unexpected, senseless loss. One of those terrible, unjust events that happen and leave us empty. I think the only way to ease this pain, this emptiness, is to grieve for the loss, Caitlin. And remember,
Does it ever get any easier?
I hope not.
Before she went in the operating room, she gave me a poem that she'd written to her newborn grandson.
Send it to him. Then she'll always live in his